Welcome back to another Daishinfinity video. In this video we're going to talk about the addition theorem of sine of x, or in other ways sine of alpha. It states that the sine of alpha plus beta, so the angles when we are adding two angles or when we are adding normal constants, that it's equal to sine alpha cosine beta minus sine beta cosine alpha. In this video we're going to prove this while we are using the Euler formula. Now we know that the Euler formula e to the I alpha, or the e to the I theta, is equal to cosine alpha plus I sine alpha. Since we know this equality, we know that we can also write any function f of x as a sum of two functions, which is the sum of the function that is even and the sum of the function that is not even. So let's take f of x. If it's an even function, then f of x is equal to f of minus x. So if we add those two together, we would have 2f of x, so we would divide both sides by 2. And then we will add the second part, which is going to be f of x minus f of minus x over 2. So if this is e to the I alpha, this should be cosine alpha, and this should be I sine alpha. Okay? Since we want to know what I sine alpha is, we're just going to put them together. So it will be equal to I sine alpha is equal to f of x minus f of minus x over 2. Dividing both sides by I will get us sine alpha is equal to f of x minus f of I minus x over 2i. Now what is f of x? F of x is e to the I alpha, so we have sine alpha is equal to e to the I alpha minus e to the negative I alpha over 2i. Now we can use this and just write it in a different way, saying that it's 1 over 2i times e to the I alpha minus e to the negative I alpha. And then at the very end we can just plug in the a plus b, so sine of alpha plus beta. We're just going to plug in that into this equation, which will give us e to the I alpha plus beta minus e to the negative I alpha plus beta. Now since this is a addition on the exponent, we can use the exponent rule to split this up into two multiplications. So it's going to be 1 over 2i times e to the I alpha e to the I beta minus e to the negative I alpha e to the negative I beta. And now what is e to the I of alpha e to the I beta e to the negative I alpha e to the negative I beta? It's just the Euler's formula, so we're just going to use it. It's going to be long since every single thing is going to be cosine alpha plus I sine alpha in that kind of direction. So we have to write it down, cosine beta plus I sine beta. Then we minus the whole thing by cosine alpha minus I sine alpha times cosine beta minus I sine beta. Now we're just going to use the distributive rule to split this up. So it's 1 over 2i times cosine alpha cosine beta plus I sine beta cosine alpha plus I sine alpha cosine beta. Now I times I is negative 1, so negative sine alpha sine beta. Then minus the whole thing, which is just going to be equal to cosine alpha cosine beta, then minus I sine beta cosine alpha, then minus I sine alpha cosine beta, then minus times minus is plus, and then I times I is minus, so we just get to minus again. Sorry that it's just messy like this. And then we can just simplify. So if the minus is in front, It's going to be minus cosine alpha plus I sine cosine alpha plus I sine cosine beta and plus sine alpha sine beta. So the cosine alpha cosine beta will cancel out, and the sine alpha sine beta will also cancel out. And then we have those two, so we're just going to add them up. So it's just going to be equal to 1 over 2i times 2i cosine alpha sine beta minus 2i cosine beta sine alpha. So the two i's will cancel out, and then we have that sine alpha plus beta is just nothing else but cosine alpha sine beta minus cosine beta sine alpha. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. If you like this video, please like and comment, and we'll see us in the next Daishinfinity video. See ya.